And welcome to the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That's right. This is show number 114. Getting involved here from downtown Mawa, live from the Shitty Kitchen Studios here. The soon to be no longer Shitty Kitchen Studios. Of course, behind the glass, Christopher Gucci coming to you live from downtown Matawan in the I was going to say shitty Chop, in the gorgeous Chop Sports Media Studios with lighting, proper lighting, equipment, all kinds of infrastructure there. Christopher Gucci from Chop Sports coming in from the Chop Sports Media from downtown Matawan. Christopher, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm just getting over my brief hiatus. I had a darkness tour that I took for the last 5-6 days. My last day in studio was last Tuesday. Right. The last day we recorded, I've been off since then, which is crazy for me. The first part of that wasn't scheduled, we'll say. I had a,
so you're finally a professional and realized, let me schedule my dark hours in between the Jimmy Palumbo shows. Not
yes,
like
which is exactly what I was thinking.
Right.
No,
right.
it just I had as you guys see.
Okay.
For those
so
that are
I'm
watching
looking
live.
for those on audio, Christopher comes in, looks like he just went 4 rounds with Mustafa Ham show, and he gets on my show and expects me not to mention you look like you took a direct hit early in the Hagler Hearns fight. What happened? How did you do that?
So it's not this amazingly tough story, but like I'd love to say it was, but no, I was wrestling with. I'm teaching my nephew certain things, and I caught a fucking excuse my language. I caught a headbutt, bink. And now I'm
already. Are you telling me another sport that I may have a shot at beating you?
There is no chance, bro. Not a chance in hell that you're beating me in a wrestling match or jiu-jitsu.
How old's your nephew?
He's 15. He'll be 15. He's a freshman.
So he's my daughter's age. Okay. So you wrestled a girl in my daughter's class, and she headbutted you, and you got this. So
that's exactly what happened.
I'm sure that bled all over the place because those eye cuts do. Right? Don't they usually bleed?
It was
like
bad.
Crazy?
It was.
Of course, you're freezing out of me.
I believe.
And now you're coming in and out here. Can you hear me? You're coming in and out here once again.
Just now that it's glued to my eye and I can't get it off. And I feel like when it does come off, it's gonna take my eyebrow with it. Okay. I'm in a tough spot, to say the least.
The things that are going wrong here at the studios. A schedule. Hang on. Wait a minute. I'm spilling things. I'm having issues here live from the downtown. This is why we got to get rid of these shitty kitchen studios. I'm spilling crap all over the place into my wires. I couldn't hear you. You were coming in and out because your internet sucks. I'm just blaming you now.
No, I think that might have been the spill that the issues, not me. Don't blame me, bro.
This is, I tell you, talk about a poor start. Now I feel like the Lakers. A poor start to my show here. So you got hit and you got headbutted. I just want to make sure I don't electrocute myself here, Shay. Yeah. So you got headbutted by your nephew. Okay, blood all over. Were you at your parents' house?
Yeah.
You were more worried about the rug than you were your eye initially, I'm sure.
Well, honestly, it wasn't anywhere near the carpeting. It was in the kitchen of all places. So that's not good. Yeah. It was in the kitchen. There wasn't, it didn't get anywhere. I felt it as soon as it happened, and it was it was bad. It was all over my face. It looked like I got the shit kicked out of me.
Now your nephew definitely talks shit at school. I would have.
I mean, probably.
I wrestled my uncle in the kitchen. I gave him the beat, and he's bleeding. He's at the hospital right now.
Yeah, so I had to take a little tour of darkness. I couldn't go on camera.
Tour of darkness. All right. Well, listen, you're back here, even though your microphone's freezing up and you're coming in and out. I don't know what the audience can hear or not hear. Usually my sister chimes in and says everything sounds like shit. I don't know why you're coming in and out like that.
I see fine. You the entire time. I don't know if it's on my end or yours, but here we are, live TV, bro.
Live TV, live podcasting here. And Christopher's got a bad eye. He's got like 7 stitches. I'll lie. It's probably only 2.
Yeah. So then I had to go. I went to Dallas this weekend too. I had a nice little trip.
Well, okay. I hope it was a business trip because you have no reason to be in Dallas. Did you check out the Dealey Plaza where Kennedy was shot?
No, because bro, because they lied their asses off. We went, you're gonna like this. We went to Dallas, but we really just went to Dallas Airport. The card show was 45 minutes out of Dallas in Plano, Texas. I was like, so I went to. People ask you, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, I was in Plano, Texas. They're like, what? What are you doing in Plano?
Plano,
we did go to
Texas.
Dallas. We ended up going into Oklahoma because they have a big casino there. So we made a trip of it. We worked during the day, and then we went out and enjoyed at night.
All right.
Went to the
Well, next time you go to Dallas, you should check that out. All right. Well, listen, now that Christopher's health and travel plans have been well documented here on the Jimmy Palumbo Show, 5 minutes in, brought to you by, well, there's a lot of big news going on here at Shea. First of all, number one, if you're a fan of my show, and I know there's at least 11 of you, and you know that I do this baseball card thing. And a couple weeks ago was Larry Gura. And I told everybody that I read that if you send him $3, he will send you an autograph. I self-addressed an envelope. I put the $3 again. I didn't hear anything. I was like, you know what? What a piece of garbage Larry Gura is, you know? And then coming in the mail here, downtown, the Larry Gura signed baseball card from Texas somewhere, wherever the hell he's at. I forget now.
Plano.
Texas. And,
Plano, Texas.
Maybe it's Plano. What does it say he lives again? He's from, I don't know, maybe, I don't even know where he's from. Doesn't matter. Bottom line is Larry Gura came through with an autograph for $3 to the Jimmy Palumbo Show. So he is now in the Howard Stern world, a friend of the Jimmy Palumbo Show. But that brings us to our baseball card thing here. Now, you know what I do? I used to do the numbers, but we went over 100, can't do numbers. I have a stack of baseball cards. A friend of mine sent a stack, an additional stack. I have plenty to go if I live that long. And I decided to do one that you're going to kind of hate, but there's a reason why I did. The pack kind of fell over, and I had a choice, to be honest with you. And I said, you know what? Because of this guy has a very famous last name. Probably, you could argue, besides Ruth, maybe the second most popular baseball name in the history of the game. Ready? Now, I'm going to delay on his name. I have here the 86 card. He played from 77 to 87, played with the Yankees in 85 and 86. Kind of a journeyman in his own way. He had a famous dad, a famous Yankee dad, and he's from New Jersey. Do you know who it is? Greg
Nettles? No.
You don't know who it is.
I'm just saying Greg Nettles' son played in New Jersey. He's not a journeyman. I'm Jimmy, I got a head injury, by the way.
You got a head injury. So what we're going to do, we'll get right to it. It is Mr. Dale Berra, Yogi's son, Dale Berra. Now,
so why would I hate that one?
Because it's like Yogi Berra. I thought you would a little more. But Dale's
You know what I was thinking, where my mind went originally? You said New Jersey. I know Greg Nettles' son played for the Somerset Patriots for a while. So that just
now, well, a decent guess, but would you call?
No, it was a shitty guess.
Would you call Greg Nettles the most popular Yankee name on the? I said Ruth, and because anyway.
But you think that Yogi Berra's name is the second most famous baseball name?
Yogi Berra, Yogi. Wait. We're gonna get into that argument. Yogi Berra, it ain't over. Yogi, he's like things were named after him. Yogi Bear. Come on now. Anyway, we're going to get the reason why I think it's important to bring up Dale Berra this week. But Dale Berra, lifetime batting average 236, 49 home runs, 600 hits, OPS of 638 for anybody under 12. Who cares about that? In 85, he batted 229 for the Yankees. 86, he batted 231. Played for Pittsburgh, Yankees, and Houston. His best year was Pittsburgh, 1982. He batted 263, so he'd be making $25 million a year now. He was a first-round pick, 20th pick overall, which is wild. Probably because of who his dad was. I'm sure bumped him up a few spots. But he was traded with Jay Buhner for Tim Foley and Steve Kemp. I remember those guys. He was born in Ridgewood, New Jersey, Valley Hospital, same hospital as my daughter. He was named after Dale Mitchell. Do you know who Dale Mitchell is? The Perfect Game by Don Larson. He was the batter. So that's why they named him after him. I find that odd. Whether Yogi was just busting balls on the guy, I have no idea. That's pretty shitty, though.
I think that is.
You know what I mean? That's like,
I can't think of like them being best friends and being
That
like,
that to me is like calling your son Bronny. Anyway, he did play with the 79 World Series Pirates, but he didn't get in the game. And the year Yogi got fired, he was batting 343, 16 games in. Then his dad got fired. I think he got 3 hits the rest of the year. He was cut the next year. But he's famous also for a famous Yankeeography highlight play. You're going to remember it when Carlton Fisk tagged out him and Bobby Meacham on the same play at home plate. Fisk caught the ball. It was Meacham and then Barra, or vice versa. I forget. That's a famous play. They show it on ESPN all the time. So he's famous for that. He also is famous for getting caught with cocaine. In 85, he got caught doing something shady with MLB. And then sadly in 89, he got caught really selling cocaine in New Jersey. Got caught with $20,000 worth with 25 kilos. So that song was probably written for Dale. But I did hear he completely turned his life around and all that different stuff. And I wanted to bring it up because, of course, the film It Ain't Over about Yogi Berra is in theaters now, and it's coming on streaming services soon. But the reason why I laugh about Dale Berra is when he was getting caught with the drugs and everything, my father said to me, hey, Jimmy, how can he do that? Your father's Yogi Berra. Completely eliminating that maybe he's got a drug problem. Like, my father felt that why should Dale Berra get in trouble? Because your dad's Yogi Berra. We used to giggle about that at the kitchen table. But he turned his life around. He's doing fine now. But his granddaughter produced his niece and Yogi's granddaughter produced this film. It's called Yogi Berra. It's not over. It ain't over. And the main thing that really I didn't see it yet, but I read a little bit about it. And I've been saying this for years. Everybody knows Yogi with the funny phrases and a funny looking guy and all that. But like, in terms of like how good he was, incredible player, incredible winner, incredible catcher. At the end of his career, how many guys do this? At the end of your career, you go from catching to left field, and was a very good left fielder for the Yankees last couple of years of his career. The Bill Mazeroski home run.
I don't know why the Yankees didn't try that with Sanchez. I felt like he would have been an amazing left fielder.
Problem is, Yogi. Yogi was like a great hitter, great two-strike hitter.
By the way, sarcasm.
I hear it. I just, what the problem is. Gary Sanchez thinks he's a Met now. He looks like a jackass, but he shaved a little bit. Look at him. But anyway, so that's it. Dale Berra, my 86 card. And I thought that would be an interesting choice with the Yogi Berra.
I thought it's an interesting choice based on the get off my lawn moment you had this weekend, posting about LeBron James and his son and what's with all these NBA players that are joining the NBA after their father joined the NBA. It's like, what are you talking about? What's the difference from any other sport? You just talked about Yogi Berra, son, who sucked at baseball and had a cocaine issue.
First of all,
that's okay. But LeBron James' son, God forbid.
No one knew. I don't think anybody knew Yogi had a son until he slapped a base hit in his 3rd year with the Pirates. Okay. First of all, I just don't understand. There's 300 NBA players worldwide. So if you're a dad, like, even to say this publicly, well, I want to play with my son, I would say, where, in the street? You having a barbecue? You can't say that a kid is going to.
Well, I mean,
a freshman and a sophomore. He said this since the kid's a sophomore in high school. He should be like, I don't even know if my kid's good enough to play D1, and he's not that high. Matter of fact, here's how bad it is. He's not even that high of a recruit. Like,
yes, he is.
No, he's not. He's a top 50 player.
I think he was top 20.
Rutgers has 3 commits that are high. When Rutgers chooses to pass on Bronny, okay, now
Rutgers passed on Bronny. Are you out of your mind?
Listen.
Rutgers said, no. Oh, you want to come here, but no, we're good. Rutgers turned him down.
No, listen, we got 2 players,
bro.
We got 2 players that are highly recruits coming in his same class. And Dylan Harper, who plays at Bosco right here. Anyway, enough about LeBron James. Tremendous first half. He looked in second half, he looked like Burgess Meredith and Rocky. Okay. And at the end of the game, with a minute left, let's pass the ball. And he looked sluggish at the end. He's gone. Goodbye. The Lakers weren't that good. Anyway, but I give him credit. I give LeBron credit. He played well in the playoffs. He's an aging veteran. He's an aging LeBron. He scored 40 points. He still gets it done. But he publicly said yesterday, I'm better than 95% of the NBA. Like, who talks like that? Right away, anybody reads that and you go, you're a jerk off. Even if it's true, you're a jerk off.
So when Michael Jordan was like, I'm better than the rest of the league, people would say he's a jerk off.
He didn't say that when he was playing, and he's smoking. At least Jordan's sitting there drinking scotch.
Can I do my guy? Get off your LeBron rant. Like last week, this guy's 39 years old. He scored 49 or 10 and 9 last night, and
then he scored.
Get off it.
With 2 minutes to go, he stunk. Go ahead.
Get off it.
He's the Anthony Rizzo.
All right, so
players.
my guy. You ready?
Yes.
How anticlimactic is this going to be?
No.
When I say
everything you say
Shawan Donnell Dunston, the former second baseman for the Cubs. He played for a lot of teams. Do you remember Shawan Dunston?
Shawan Dunston? I do not.
How do you not remember? He was an all-star for the era that he played in. You should remember him. Right?
What years?
He's 60 years old. He played for the Cubs for 10 years. 85 to 95. So that was like the Mark Grace Cubs. That was the
wait a minute, Sean Dotson?
Shawan.
Nah,
you might have always
Dotson.
pronounced it Sean because,
Okay, because that's how we do it. And he's a National League guy mostly?
I mean, he played for the Cubs, the Giants, the Cubs again, the Pirates, the Indians, the Giants again, the Cardinals, the Mets, the Cardinals again, the Giants again.
I admit that there was a stage in my life where I didn't follow the National League. I think I can name maybe 8 players overall from that era.
But I mean, for his career, I guess he turned out to be a journeyman, but he was a good, first stop player. He had a good 10-year career with the Cubs to start things. We're going to pronounce it Shawan over here. So Sean Dunston, we're going to say Shawan.
My buddy from LSU, Darryl Clark, says pronounced Sean.
So anyway, yes, Sean Dunston. But just to reiterate something about Sean Dunston, he also had a son that played professionally and fizzled out very, very early. He played like 20 years now in how about this? His son is a 17-year vet in like the independent league. So that's how old we are now, Jimmy.
We're shot.
Sean Dunston, old. You want to hear career batting average 270.
Okay.
Not bad, right? 150 home runs, about 700 runs batted in over the course of a 15-year career. And now he's still working with the Giants.
Well, there you go. So it's Shawan or Sean. I'm going to go with Sean Dotson.
Sean Dunston, Bronny James.
Sean Dunston. And listen, David, I'm in Congello. That you're posting stuff that I don't. Do you see that? I don't. We don't do that on the show here, Shay. That's like a political thing or something. I don't get into that stuff. I don't know anything about it. I don't want to. We're talking about LeBron James being a pussy, and I don't know about that other stuff. Which he is a wuss. Because you know why? The main reason why, Chris, he didn't come to the Knicks. That's why him and Durant. When I do my Hall of Fame ballot, where they say, "Can you believe someone didn't vote for Durant and LeBron?" And it's me. It's me. You know
I guarantee you, what ends up happening here is that
aging LeBron's coming to the Knicks.
Bronny goes to the Knicks.
Oh, best player ever. Oh,
Bronny and Bron? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and then what happens is LeBron will be too old, right? And
Jimmy,
then someone will get hurt. And
are
LeBron
you ready
says,
for
well,
this?
maybe my dad can play. And all of a sudden, I'm aging LeBron.
Do you know what's even better? There. Are you ready for this? The one that's in 8th grade or 9th grade right now is even better.
Oh, now he's so LeBron wants to know when. So the entire, is his wife playing in the WNBA now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I know LeBron,
but
Michael Jordan's
Bryce,
family
his name is
are
Bryce
all Saints
James,
now.
And the story on him is that he doesn't really care. He doesn't really want to play, but he's just so good he has to.
You know what? I like him more. I want him to be the anti-dad guy. I want him to be I want him to go to Des Moines State and score 40 points a game and then still go to the NBA.
Oh, so Rutgers.
Be in the G League and be in the G League and never play again. I'm sick of LeBron James, sick of Curry, sick of all these players. My team stinks, so I'm aggravated. But that's it. But of course, Chris, all of this wonderful news, the Larry Guru card should have been on ESPN. Okay. And all this, of course, is sponsored by your friend and mine, Absolute Eyewear. That's right. Looks like Christopher needs some eyewear for his face, a little protective gear when he's wrestling with his nephews in the kitchen. There's too much material there. Our show's not long enough. Absolute Eyewear, 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326.
Eyes.
Oh,
Or in
boy,
this
that's
case,
slow.
I.
Yeah. 732-326-3937. Full service, first service opticians down by the train station in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Go talk to Janine and Craig Mashaud. They will take care of you. When you leave the store, you won't feel like a jerk off. That's the best Madison Avenue thing I could tell about them. They got everything. They got glasses, Ray-Ban, Coach, Ralph Lauren, Jimmy Choo, Silhouette, Michael Kors, Vogue, Maui Jim, Costa Del Mar glasses. Now, did you notice anything different there?
No Vogue?
Your attention, please. Now doing the glasses in the proper way. Ray-Ban, Coach, Ralph Lauren, Dave Sturgio's Jimmy Choo, Silhouette, Michael Kors, Vogue, Maui Jim.
Oh, you did say Vogue.
And Costa Del Mar.
So I didn't notice anything different.
They got glasses for every budget. You get $100 off a complete pair when you mention the show, mention my name, or just say you know me, and Janine will take care of you. I'm sure of it. Absolute Eyewear, 732-326-3937. Last thing, they're open 5 days a week, closed on Wednesdays. Why?
Because it's softball.
Closed on Sundays. Why?
That will be football Sundays. Watch the Giants get their asses beat.
That's right. The 9-7, 9-8 Giants that are coming up this year. All right. So that's it. Absolute Eyewear. God bless America. Now, in other news, this is such a big show. This is a so monumental show. You actually look kind of cool.
It's so annoying because it's
like Brando and on the waterfront.
And the allergies at the same time. It's like,
Should I have called Dave Sturcher off the bench? I think we should have got Sturcher.
No, it's fine. Dave can't handle it. He can't do the Tuesday afternoon show. He's too soft.
I'll bring in the big right-hander out of Texas coming in, firing. All right. So now, which brings us to other news. This is a big show, Chris. Big show. Patreon. When you go to patreon.com, Patreon.com, Jimmy Palumbo Show, look for it because we are now, it's not even a slump. I think I might, I could get let go at this point. Giancarlo Stanton got hurt, and my Patreon has not been the same since. I think the fans are waiting for Giancarlo to come back so someone could be number 28 and be Beasley Reese. I think they're looking forward to that. 3 guys just drove off the road. Even the Beasley Reese family's not talking about him. So, listen, I decided to take a little slower with my Patreon. We've got Alex Stetzena. He tunes piano. So get in touch with me. If you have a piano, you need a tune, that's what he does. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever meet anyone else around. I know you never met anybody that tunes pianos. That's what he does. My sister, Mary Eileen Riccardi, who helped me out last week, getting my apartment ready to be an open house, that's another story later. Big George Mike DeMosi out of Colonia. My mom, my sweet mom, getting ready for little knee surgery action in a couple of weeks. We're worried about that, Mom. We love you. My cousin Joe Palumbo, thanks, shout out. He came down to my daughter's dance competition this weekend in Mount Olive. More on that. Rob Pastor, Kappa Sig buddy, always checking in on me. Love him too. Thank you. James Kanowitz, who sent me the baseball cards here at Shea. Can't get in touch with him. Jimmy Riccardi, he has to he's throwing his money around. My nephew, we love that. Big Nick fan. John Henry Riccardi, his brother, finally back. He's going to head to L.A. He's in Nashville now. He's going to head back to L.A., get his shit together over there, do some cool showbiz stuff. My nephew, Eric, who's getting married in a couple months. Michael Caprio, cornholelevel.com. Frank Palumbo, the CFO, thank you very much. He just, we did a transaction. I now have a new Lexus RX 350. It's new to me. It's from 2013. Thanks to his wife, Susie, my sister-in-law as well for that. Also, we got Darryl Clark from LSU getting involved, telling us it's pronounced Sean because you don't know what you're talking about. We got Greg Castellino.
I think he retired when I was like 9.
Okay, so. You were 9, so you don't know how to spell anyway. We got Greg Castellino / Greg Miller. Anybody from Colonia remembers him? I think he's moving now. I don't know where he's moving to. He's always moving. I think he's moving back to New Jersey, which would be cool. No, he's definitely moving back to New Jersey. My brain just kicked in. Now we got Mike Shecky Lawler, my buddy Sheck. Hey, Sheck, if you're listening, Artie's been texting me a little bit, which is cool. Dave Ben, who I hung out with yesterday. More on that in a little bit. I went to school with him for 17 years. I've been saying 16. We found out yesterday that, in fact, we went to kindergarten together, same school. I don't know anybody who could say I went to 3 different institutions all the same way my entire educational process. Pat Volkemer, Chop Sports' favorite and most popular poster of all time, with crazy trivia and all this stuff, freaking out everybody. We love Patty. Martin Walsack, another Colonia boy, Giant fan. Michael Deege, Alphonse from Beerleague. Janine Michaud of Absolute Eyewear getting involved here at Shea. I mean, after all, they're a sponsor of your show now, of your network now. That's another story for later on. Robin Achani Barna getting involved. John Henry Palumbo, my cousin, getting involved. Greg Alperin, he'll be in the news soon enough with this beer league thing we're going to talk about very soon. My nephew, Bobby Palumbo. My nephew, Tommy Palumbo, graduating VT. And also Tyson Hogan, America's favorite Patreon member, because nobody knows who he is. That's the kind of Patreon guy we like. And also coming in at 27, Giancarlo Louis Vicciadomini. Louis, we love you. He always tunes in, busting my balls. All right, so that's that. So we're stuck at 27. I got to get this going. So now let's get down to a couple of things, Chris. Now, this is the part of... All right, my phone's talking to me now. Let's get down to a couple of things. My heel injury. Now, I went to the doctor after the show, okay? And sadly, I have a potential problem. There's a bone that came off my heel, right where the tendons meet and all this stuff. And you see it on the x-ray clear as day. I was like, what the hell is that? So he's like, he put me on these. I've been on steroids for 6 days. I know you're shaking your hand like you don't know. And now problem is I'm feeling pretty good. I could actually maybe even run right now if I had to. But I'm going to follow the doctor's orders. Although I'm thinking about sneaking out, playing a little pickleball tonight just to see how I feel. But I got a brand new paddle. My heel is a mess. I got to do another 30 days of this other kind of pill starting tomorrow because I'm off the steroids. I was like A-Rod, bro. You know what's sad? I was on steroids and I couldn't play any sports. I wanted to go out and play wiffle ball and hit bombs and shit. But
so, I mean, all that's happening here is me being proven right. You tried to push it just a little bit, and Jimmy, listen, the
5K will happen soon enough and I will run it under 31 minutes.
No.
I even got a runner to run with me. Okay. My boy, Rob Lehman, who says he runs in about 28.
So
he'll be my guy.
And I'll commend this, and I will this will be a tip of the hat. If this is a conjured up thing, because you knew I can't run this in 31 minutes, but I need 6 weeks to 8 weeks of training.
Not true at all. I haven't run.
I'm going to be like, I'm going to go on the dark web. I'm going to find an x-ray. So in case anybody wants to call me on it, I have one.
I could probably post it up right here. Figure out a way to do that.
Yeah, I know, but I could go buy an x-ray too. I could go on Reddit or something and be like, hey, I'm trying to.
First of all, I'm 57 years old. We don't go on Reddit. Who buys an x-ray, like a fake x-ray?
I don't know.
Somebody
that only 5K that's happening will be when you drop.
By the way, the car has been sold to Turk.
That is a very good joke, though.
It is very funny. Darryl Clark he might be my favorite Patreon right now, besides my brother. He's just lighting it up. I did sell the car for.
But we could agree on something though. Whether that 5K, the car went for 5 or 7K, that's neither here nor there. But he is right about one thing. That is the only K happening. There is no 5K happening in under 31 minutes. It's not going to happen.
You see that,
Jimmy? I mean, you might need surgery at this point, for all you know, bro.
To be honest with you, he did tell me it could come down to how much I can tolerate. Every time I do a sport, my ankle may hurt. And he goes, but the surgery is brutal. 6 weeks in a cast. I can't do that right now. I'll be a mess. But
you'll be 230 by the end of it.
Listen.
You'll be 230. 230 with a cast.
What is this? Did you bite pencil and leave in the car, Bob Sheehan? I don't get what that means.
That's from that's Seinfeld. That's John Voight. John Voight's car. They took the pencil to try and match the teeth. Yeah, he bought John Voight's car.
Okay.
And it was a pencil with bite marks in it. Come
All
on,
right,
bro.
first of
Come
all,
on, bro.
I didn't. I'm sorry. I only did Curb Your Enthusiasm and Friends and ER during those magic years there. Okay, I did like 3.5 hours of must-see TV. Don't start getting. You know what? Listen. And by the way, Seinfeld show is dated when you watch it now. It doesn't work as well as Friends. Anyway, and I proved that right too. It's so true. Curb is way better anyway.
Friends. I couldn't even tell you because it's one of the worst shows ever in
No,
existence.
it's not. It's not.
Oh, it's so bad.
You're
Unless you're a female that grew up in
Listen,
that time.
No, it's a funny show.
And even then,
Trust
it's
me on this.
brutal.
No, it's not. It's because you listen. It came out before your girlfriend was born, but that doesn't mean there's a reason why you should hate it. You know what? Me and Chris. You know what? You know why I'm going at Chris today? He's got an injury. I got to work the eye. My trainer. When I go to my corner,
get me out of this one early.
When I go to the corner, man, they're like, for the first 3 rounds, they're like, don't hit him in the eye. Don't hit him in the eye. It's not cool. And now I'm like, no, I can't do that. That's unprofessional.
You know what my corner told me? My corner told me just much like the 5K, he's going to come out gate firing hard and heavy, right? But right after mile 1, which I think we just crossed over the mile 1 marker, he lets his guard down, and then you could just start unloading on him, which I'm about to.
All I got to do,
the gloves come off now.
Listen, one jab to the eye, you'll bleed all over. And Judge Ramirez from Mexico City will rule 117, 114, Palumbo, and still champion of the world. All right. Well, I got to get to a sponsor here, Chris. Isn't it fun? You remember those days when you guys had sponsors? It's Oxy Magic here at Shea. Oxy Magic is a carpet cleaning place owned by my buddy Tom, who plays pickleball, which I might see him tonight if I play. This place is awesome. They did my apartment, and they don't drag the hoses through. They got this little machine that does all this stuff. The average dry time is 1 to 2 hours. It's Oxy Magic, OXYMAGIC USA.com. It's with a Y on the Oxy. Make sure. He even told me to spell that out. This place is great. The place is great. The guy came. He did a great job. They have the green seal. They got the EPA Safer Choice certifications. They got all the green stuff. It's not like, you're going to start getting a twitch after the guy's done with it. And they're also offering 0% company financing for any new location owners. So visit OxyMagicUSA.com. That's OXY. So MagicUSA.com. If you're thinking about starting your own business or you're thinking about getting your carpets clean, get in touch with them. They're awesome. And you know what? You got to tell them Jimmy Palumbo Show sent you. That's how it works. So please, and Tom's a really good guy. He's an awesome pickle player. He thinks he's the best player, but he doesn't know. Like, I'm just not ready. Like, I haven't got in. It's like preseason. He has no idea what's coming.
If you're watching, Jimmy is on a down. He's on the downward spiral right now. He's not coming back stronger. He just heard about his heel. He's got gout and a detached bone, whatever that means. Whatever that means.
An aging Jimmy Palumbo turnaround jumper. Yes.
This is one of those injuries. This is one of those injuries where it's like, we don't know when he's coming back. They say things like, he will be able to resume baseball activities in 6 weeks. But then when he resumes baseball activities, we have no idea what's going to happen. We have no idea what's going to happen. Maybe his foot falls off. Maybe he's good again for a week. Maybe he tries to run a 5K.
Listen to me. My friend Tom and his lovely wife, Natalie, from OxyMagicUSA.com. If you need your carpets clean anywhere, they got locations all over the state. He would even admit Jimmy's much better than anybody realizes, but he's kind of like, he's laying low for the play. Yeah, it's like the NBA, Chris. NBA, all you have to do is win 8 games, you make the playoffs.
Yeah, I remember. I remember when Allen Houston was good before he hurt his knee. I remember when Grant Hill was good. I remember, all these guys. They had. You don't remember because
you were 8. You don't remember anything.
They had their day, and then everyone's days are numbered, bro.
If you need your carpet cleans, OxyMagicUSA.com. That's OXY MagicUSA.com. Give them a call. Talk to them over there. Not give them a call. Go to the website. They'll take care of you. And then when I see Tom playing pickleball tonight, he's probably going to kick my ass. But he doesn't realize his wife's actually better than him, too. So I told him, if you sponsor my show, the rule is if you sponsor my show, part of the fun is you take a beating. That's why, Chris, you technically sponsor my show. But we have way big news to get to. The biggest I had. Now, if you notice, I'm wearing the Ed's Bar and Swill hat. That's the bar from Beerleague. I'm wearing a Beerleague t-shirt, Chris. So I'm maximizing my Beerleague-ness. But there's big news out there. Have you heard about this big news, Christopher?
I have, but I wanted to not say anything so you could do your thing here.
Well,
But I
listen,
do know what you're about to say.
we actually cleared our last hurdle legally, and the football giants are on the air as Beerleague. The series will be launched on June 19th, which I think is that Juneteenth thing, but doesn't matter to me. June 19th, Beerleague will be launched. Right now, we started posting the trailer. Well, we might have screwed that up a little bit because we're trying to get everybody to YouTube. What I need everybody to do is go to YouTube and subscribe. The key thing is subscribing. So that way, maybe we can generate some God Bless America, and we could get the show going. Artie's been texting me. I'm excited about that. I might see him tomorrow for lunch. That would be huge. Listen, you got to go to Beerleague the series on YouTube. It's also on TikTok. Same thing. We're on Snapchat as Beerleague series. And we're also, the website is beerleaguetheseries.com. This is probably the cool, fun thing. I should say it's not the biggest thing. It's a fun thing I'm doing. It's 5. We're going to run the show the 19th, 20th, 21, 22, 23. Probably going to post them at 7 a.m. in the morning. It's 5 episodes. It's not a full half hours. It's not a half hour each episode. Somehow that got out there. I never said that. It is a series. We want to continue to do more. Everyone is involved people are involved from the original production, but it depends some in a slight way, some more than others. Artie's aware of what we're doing, and we're hoping to get him back off the schneid and get him involved in the thing. I know if you're an Artie fan and you're a fan of Beerleague, all I ask is you check it out. You want to bash it after you watch it. That's cool, man.
We all know
big boy.
It's definitely a no holds barred bunch. So,
well, it's the
greatest way to describe it. I love it though.
I get it. Listen, as long as they click subscribe and interact with me and bust my balls, I have no problem with that. I think we plan to shoot more, but we're going to be doing some things to do that. And this time we're going to shoot them quicker and get them right on once we get the ball rolling. Big shout out to my boy Mitch, my lawyer friend, who really guided us through everything to work this out. Also, the director Tom Baldinger and Greg Alprin, the other producer, with me. Sometimes we yell and scream at each other, but we love each other, and it's going to work out. So, I mean, Beerleague, go on YouTube, and I just need you to subscribe and watch and check it out. The trailer is out there. Look at this, Buster. I got someone just subscribed on YouTube as we speak. Dave Buss, if you're listening, go subscribe. Bob Sheehan, David, political post guy. I don't know how to say your last name. Amicagello. Is that one of your buddies from Chop Sports? No, it's one of my friends, I think.
Amicagello.
Amicangelo. Yes.
Amicangelo.
Yes. I'm sitting here. Of course I know who he is. Then you got Daryl Clark. Make sure everybody subscribes. I'm individually asking people to subscribe. That's what I love about this show. All right. Well, listen, Christopher, now that we got Larry Gura and Dale Berra out of the way, and the fact that you can't beat your nephew in wrestling and you think you can beat me, dude, I got to move. I got to move. The people are selling the apartment here I'm in, and I either got to buy something or rent again. My sister just checked in. Hey, Jim. Hi, my sister, Mary Eileen, the best. She helped me clean out because the lady had to take pictures. I had to take all my stuff off the wall, running around. Dude, moving sucks. I got to find someplace close to my daughter. We thought we found one place, but after further review, it didn't work out. So what's up, Sam? Don't forget to subscribe. Beerleague the series. Sam Grasso checking in here, Shay.
Sam, it's a trap. Don't subscribe. No, I'm kidding. Don't subscribe, Sam.
Please, that's
I'm just messing around.
See that?
Sam.
Yeah.
Sam's my guy.
Sam says moving sucks. I agree. I moved 4 times.
Moving does suck.
Now this will be the 5th time in 13 years. I hate it. Hopefully I'll find something. I may stay here if the new owner of this place says, yeah, I'll keep Palumbo in there. But I'll probably raise the rent. Who the hell knows? Anyway, moving just blows. It totally, we walked around. But here's the cool thing. You know who my realtor is? I don't know. I guess I could say it. My realtor is that Jeff Fiegels, the punter from the Giants for 10 years. How funny is that? I get a phone call. I was online looking about a year ago, and all of a sudden I just saw the name Jeff, and he calls up, and then he calls emails, and all of a sudden I'm seeing like Jeff Fiegels, and I thought it's like that's just a random name. All of a sudden I'm on the phone with him. I go, hey, you didn't punt for the Giants, did you? And he goes, yeah, that's me. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm dealing with Jeff Fiegels. And I'm also dealing with his two sons. And one of them played lacrosse. One of them actually was lacrosse, and he punted for Rutgers for a little bit. I think he started out in Miami. And so I am dealing with the Fiegel family to find me, the Fiegels family to find me a place to live, which I think is hysterical. Look at that. I told my Sam Grasso, I told my wife, next time I move, it's to St. Gertrude's. That's so funny. Say hello to my dad if you stop by over there. And James Coco, this character actor from the 70s. Maybe I'll get buried in St. Gertrude's. You know what I mean? I'll probably be running a 5K. Let's set the tone for you. I'm setting up the 5K, right? I'm running.
Right. The finish line's at St. Gertrude's.
And I've already announced that I'm only gonna be in showbiz until I can star in a movie with my daughter. I think I'm going to call up Law and Order and say, listen, I want to be a regular on Law and Order, but I want my daughter.
You should make the mile marker
when my daughter's 18, she's going to be in the movie with me.
You should make mile marker 1.7 St. Gertrude's entrance, just so like it's just
maybe I'll run the 5K within the confines of the gates, and that way.
And the guy that you got to run with you was the Grim Reaper,
right? And then I die.
The Undertaker, maybe it's just somebody that will be able to assist. No, this is terrible. What are we doing here?
So anyway, also, hey, speaking of dying, a big shout out to a friend of a friend. Really, I played golf with him one time. I met him a few times. A guy named TJ Sullivan from Wyckoff. I played golf with him a couple years ago. He's a good friend of my buddy Tim McCarthy, and another friend of mine, Greg Riccardi, passed away suddenly Saturday night. One of those looks like a widowmaker heart attack thing. Just awful. Really nice guy. Young kids. I feel horrible about it. I wasn't a good friend with him, but I met him a bunch of times, and you just hate to hear that. Also scares the shit out of me. He's 50 years old, and sadly, he passed away suddenly. Prayers and thoughts to his family. It just sucks to even hear that. Anyway, so yeah, I got to move, and so I may not be coming from the shitty kitchen studios, but I could move into a place with shittier kitchen. Now, should I rename it the Shitty Kitchen Studios or the Shittier Kitchen Studios? What do you think about it? I could be in a different town that doesn't have a downtown.
I mean, it might be the shittiest kitchen. It might be the shittiest kitchen studios.
The shittiest. Like what? I don't want to put the EST because I can always go further down and end up in a worse place in 2 years from now.
Then you could just go the even more shitty.
Right.
Even more
just
shitty.
Shittier and shittier and
shittier and shittier.
It. See, it's
this
so
is the most shitty.
But I'm moving. Jimmy Palumbo's moving. Beerleague's coming out. Maybe Beerleague will save me. I'll buy a big mansion if it goes well. If I get Ralph and Artie to do it, maybe I'll get Ralph to buy me a house. Which brings us to a really fine product, Christopher. Do you know what this is, Christopher? Those of you on video here, I'm holding it up. It is a cornhole leveler. And if you go to cornholelevel.com for $19.95, cornholelevel.com, go check it out. All right. You go check this out. And you know what, Chris? You go to a barbecue, right? Now, my brother hates this part of the show because he hates cornhole like I do. But he doesn't have a podcast. He doesn't have a sponsor. And he's not friends with Mike Caprio. I am, although he knows who he is. You hook this thing onto your cornhole hole. Okay. You love that. You hook this little dingleberry onto your cornhole. All right. And it levels your cornhole board. Okay. Now, you're the kind of guy, you go to a barbecue, say you go to your best friend's barbecue. Say you went to Dave Sturchio's house and you realize, hey, Dave, your cornhole's crooked. You know what I mean? You would run to the car. No, you would, and come out with one of these.
I probably wouldn't have to run to my car because I know that Dave has a crooked cornhole corrector.
Okay, and that is, see, that's
Dave's got a whole bag in his trunk because Dave's the same as us, bro. He doesn't want to mess around with crooked cornholes.
And you hook this thing on the board, you move it around to and fro, it centers the dot in the middle, and you have an official cornhole level board. Up, down. You got to check these things out. They're $19.95, 20% off. If you mention the JP show, They're cool little gifts. It could be a gag gift, a stocking stuffer. You could save your friend from a shitty barbecue with bad cornhole things. Right now, Chris, I played the other day for like 10 minutes. So I'm ranked 8th now in the world. Have you played recently?
No, I was
you haven't
there.
played. So
there
you're
was,
still
there was a game.
you haven't played.
happening-
You're still ranked 30th.
There was a
right?
game happening there a week ago, but their cornholes weren't level, and I didn't know anybody.
You didn't know
So I just
anybody.
watched them and make fools of themselves.
I played with my daughter and her friends, and I played for like 5 minutes. And my ranking I'm 8th now in the world. Somebody said I'm a pro now. I don't know how true that is. So I know you'll play once, maybe this week, and you'll be ranked probably 7th or 9th, right around. We'll move up together, and if we play together, we'll probably be ranked 3rd or 4th in the world. I just want to make sure my brother doesn't.
I'd be 3rd and you'd be 4th.
That's fine, but maybe we're a team. I know if my brother played, he would be ranked number 1. He needs about 9 minutes because he needs only 20 minutes of pickleball to be better than me. So I'm sure it's the same thing. But that doesn't matter. You still can't have a cricket cornhole board, Chris. You can't. So go to cornholelevel.com, which is owned by Mike Caprio, my second baseman for Corona Construction, still wearing that shitty Met hat. He always wore a shitty Met hat. It used to make me crazy. It was like a shitty one. And I think he still has the same hat. But he sponsors the show. We love Mike. Cornholelevel.com. JP Sports. Put it into the code. Get your 20% discount off of the thing, and that's it. My brother hates when I do that ad, but I love it because it's a sponsor. Now, what else we got? So, yesterday, I had a meeting in Westfield, kind of beer league related, and I ran into turns out my friend Pat Colicchio is the local pharmacist at Barron's Drugstore, which is one of those old school ones, not a Walgreens or CVS. He's been there, I think, for 55 years, or since he graduated like 8th grade, St. Javiani. And then it turns out my buddy Dave Ben was going to be passing through. So we literally met in the aisle. We haven't seen each other in years. In the aisle of the drugstore, we made him come behind. Like, people were dying to get drugs. And we were like, no, we're going to bullshit down the hallway. Pat's sister does the shopping for the place. It's like a whole family affair there. And we sat and BS'd and had a few laughs. We talked, we laughed about when I was younger, we used to do names backwards. And I still remember it. Like, I'm Yamij Abmalap, and my cousin John is Nahaj Abmalap, and Patrick is a Kurtap Wikalak. Dave Ben is Devad Neb. My buddy Fred Evans is Durf Snave. This was stuff we did in 5th grade. We still remember like it was yesterday. So I was like, we were on a bus trip one time, and every time I passed a sign, I would be able to, read it real quick. And we always laugh at Deeps to Mill, which is the speed limit. So I was going to name that. I always thought that was a good name of a character, Deeps to Mill. But stupid stuff like that. We're 57 years old and we're still laughing over the same jokes we did. Fred Evans, Durf Snave. Isn't that a great name for like a character, like a linebacker, out of Texas Tech?
It sounds like a coach, like a old SEC coach or something.
Right. Like from like 68 to 74. You know what I mean?
Coach Michigan's linebackers.
Right. Exactly right. The big uglies in Wisconsin. Durf. And Fred Evans ended up flying like helicopters for the Army. He's like a war hero, that kind of thing. But we laughed about wiffle ball, strike zones and wiffle ball, all that kind of fun stuff. But what we really laughed at is we've been telling this story. It's so true. We actually, in Catholic school, me, Dave Ben, Pat Colicchio, and my cousin John, we cheated on a test, Christopher. Now, my cousin John's a very smart man.
I might have cheated on about like 70% of the tests that I've taken.
I cheated many times on tests. Everybody did. But my cousin John didn't need to, but he, somehow we got the answers, to a true and false test. All right. And John somehow got him, or he knew, I don't know, he got him somehow. So we had to figure out how to know, which one's true, which one's false, So we came up with a little poem, and because it was written by me, some of my best work. And we figured out it's Tom fought Freddie to the finish to fight for victory. That would, if you read that out, Tom fought Freddie to the finish to fight for victory, you would get 100 straight, 100 of A on the test, right? So I get the test. Dave Ben sitting next to me. My cousin John and Pat were in the other room. As soon as I got the test, numbered it, TF, yo, Tom fought Freddie too. Right there. I didn't look at the questions. I was confident. My cousin John never got less than an A+ his whole life. It was like, he's like the Tom Brady of test taking. I knew he had the game won. He decides, my cousin John, at the last minute, because he's smart, if everybody gets 100, the teacher's going to be suspect, right? So he switches. It wasn't to fight for victory. He switched it at the last two. So I ended up getting a 90. Me and Dave Ben got a 90, but St. John's had a rule that only over 92 is an A. So I got a B on a test that I knew all the answers. I cursed my cousin out. I'm like, why'd you give me the wrong answers? He's like, well, I wanted to make sure. I figured you and Dave, you kind of look like you get B's all the time. I was like, what is that?
First of all, take the B and shut your mouth.
Well, that's true too. However, I felt a little jilted. I wanted, first of all, I wanted Freddie to fight for victory. That's number one. And so, yes, I got a B on the test. And what was at first was telling the story in the lobby, anybody in the hallway in the aisle of Barron's drugstore in Westfield, in downtown Westfield. And we all decided we have to get together for that. It was a lot of fun. I also was able to stop by Dave's parents' house, and the Ben family, and his mom is getting up there, and she's having some health issues, and I was able to say hello to her, which was sweet, and his dad, and we talked about the Celtics, and it was kind of nice to go into someone's childhood home. My parents sold their home, and to go into a house that I'd been in before, and everything looks to me, it looks identically the same house off Ernston Road in Colonia. It was pretty cool. And I got to at least say hello to them. Hopefully I will see them over the summer, but it was fun to do. So even though it was only an hour and a half, I felt like I was there for 3 hours. So that's it. What else? Yes. Well, it's the standard Jimmy Palumbo show. Yankees playing well. Starting to get it back a little bit. Tampa Bay coming back down to earth, which you did predict that, Christopher. Yes, you did. I still think they're better than the Yanks, but
of course, but it's a long season right now. Yeah, you can't say they're not. They did what they did.
To be honest with you, I
don't
really know how the Yankees are winning games, to be honest with you. But
well, I think that guys like Bader and these guys are good players.
Some of the guys
you just don't know enough about, and now they're getting in their rhythm.
I guess so. And listen, it's a long season. I get it.
Bader's a good player when he's healthy. He's a really good center fielder too. I'll tell you that. And Hicks is gone. I think we needed that to happen.
Yeah, that had to happen. That was just. You know what? You play yourself out of the game. Somehow, Gallo's family's in the mob, so that he couldn't be cut. But that's what he did. But you know what? I know I'm hard on Rizzo. Okay. And Rizzo's having a pretty good year. He's batting .302. But it's weird. I'm bashing Gallo with the Twins, but I actually compared their stats, and this is going to seem silly, but to me, it's funny. Now, Rizzo, in 179 at-bats, has 11 home runs and 28 RBIs, right? Batting .302. Gallo, in 112 at-bats, has the same amount of home runs and 23 RBIs. So it's weird that, like, the way that works out, like the RBI-wise, it's almost like if Gallo had played more games, he would have more RBIs than Rizzo, which must mean the guy who bats before Rizzo must stink. And also, Gallo has 45 strikeouts and 68 less at-bats. So I still predict that at the end of the season, Rizzo's average will not be over 300, and he'll tank.
Well, I mean, if he bats 280, I'll take it. Let's not.
I know, but isn't it hard now? Well, like, even if you really shit the bed, if you're batting 300 now, mid-May, it's hard to really. If he went below 260, it would be almost a disaster, right?
You're getting close to that, but they're not even at, like, when you hit 300 at bats, it's like now you're really like you. Right. It's an established.
So
season.
we got 100 quarter way to go.
Yeah, you could still. There's a lot of baseball left.
Well, yeah, the Yanks getting healthy. They're playing good ball. The Mets are starting to play a little bit better ball, a little exciting comeback kind of ball. Kind of knew they would eventually with Showalter. I just didn't think they were going to shit the bed the whole year. Let's get to some other things here at Shea. Now, you're going to have a take on this for sure. It's probably going to be different than mine, but that's okay. It's what the show's about. Rutgers University, Scarlet McKnight's basketball team. Their senior 6-year veteran, Cam Spencer, went into the transfer portal. Now, I was never a huge Spencer guy. I always thought he was too short, too slow, but he's a gamer. He's like I'm not going to compare him to Larry Bird, but he plays that kind of, does everything pretty well, nothing great. Can play defense, smart on the court, that kind of thing. That's how Larry Bird was. Larry Bird did everything awesome. This guy does everything like decent. But he left well late in the season now, supposedly for NIL money. And from what I'm hearing, the NIL, it's pretty substantial. He didn't really give Rutgers a chance. He may go to Georgetown for a decent buck. And I hate the fact that Rutgers didn't get a chance to match it. But more importantly now, this is now a whole, and now I'm experiencing it day one. This whole NIL thing, everybody knows it's like crazy, but it really is wild because not only is it free agency and good for the kids, but it's free agency with no system attached. So in other words, what people don't realize is, and once Notre Dame and Texas and USC, schools like that, once they get in this game, it's real simple. Nobody has more money than Notre Dame. Nobody. So it's like really simple. Oh, you know what? We need a quarterback. Let's give the guy on. The guy in Maryland $500,000. Get him to come up here. Like there's no salary cap. There's no nothing. You're going to see, and that they got to do something. I don't mind the players getting money. Hey, good for you. But it's like you wake up in the morning, your dad gets a phone call. Hey, Jimmy, Texas wants to give you, Rutgers is giving you $150,000. Texas is going to give you $350,000. Let's go. It's an extra $200,000. And you can leave by, like, all you got to do is tell the coach I'm entering the portal. You type your name into like a Facebook thing, NCAA portal, and you get on a flight and you're playing for Texas for $200,000 more. There's not even like a system where it's like, okay, let's give the school a chance to match it or cap it via maybe the Big Ten and the SEC have a higher cap than it's too wide open, way too wide open.
I understand that, like, the issues that it's causing, but when you look in terms of legality, it's going to be a hard sell to put a cap on things because there's too many loopholes here. It doesn't even have to be the university that's offering the deal. It's just an estimated deal. If you're playing somewhere, it could be the car dealership also. Like, you're allowed to negotiate as a player single-handedly on your own. So while it might not be Notre Dame giving the money or Alabama giving the money, that could be a part of it.
Well, each school has an NIL collective.
Of course, but there's a collective, but you don't have to go through it.
But you know what? But yes, I know there's no system in place, but to me, it won't be a legal issue when you sign,
like,
when you sign to the university. There's believe it or not, when you sign, it used to be 1-year contracts. Do you know that years ago? How unfair is that? You sign a 1 year, the first year scholarship, you blow out your knee. If the school could say, sorry, you don't get the scholarship. Now, most of the schools have the 4-year, 5 to graduate deal. But to me, those are contracts though. So to me, it's like, hey, you're going to come to Rutgers or Texas or Notre Dame, whatever. You sign something that has ramifications. Now, you can sign with no trade clauses and all that stuff, or maybe you have to sign. There has to be something in place because
because when you sign a contract, even with this, okay, show me a situation where under any circumstances the university is not allowed to pull the scholarship, because at any given point they're always allowed to.
Well, maybe they're not. Maybe the university has to. It's not a one-sided thing. The university, it has to be redone.
So there has to be,
but you can't.
There can't be,
Chris,
like,
you can't be.
The players are obligated.
It literally though is that week 3, a kid can just enter the transfer portal and that Saturday playing for another team, and there's no like, where you going? You know what I mean? It's now, of course, Sam Grasso makes a good point. He was a grad transfer. There are some restrictions, but I don't mind, I guess, the money thing, but it just, they have to do something. Let the kids get their dime. I'm all for that. But there's got to be, like, even the end of it, every league has a.
I think a smart fix might be, the eligibility thing.
You don't have to be in school. You're just playing for the school.
No. Meaning, like, you don't. If you transfer, they used to make it where you lost a year.
Yeah,
you weren't eligible.
They lost that in court, though.
I understand, that's true.
So there's got to be.
Could I be honest though, Jimmy? they're going to lose everything in
Well,
court.
that's why
if it goes to court.
Well, yeah, but
that's why they can't do anything.
But that's why
they're here to begin
there
with.
has to be some kind of
But can I say something as well?
path.
This is what they get. This is what they get, the NCAA, because they've been running it the way they've wanted to with no outside governing body, and they've just been crooked since day one. So now you created this issue. That's what you get. And guess what? It's probably not going to change for the better anytime soon, because as precedent gets set here, it's just becoming more and more crazy, because when you look at it and you take yourself in a vacuum, take your fanhood out of it, take what you know about college sports out of it, and like legally in court, all this stuff, it's like, like the players are always going to win here because they're adults and they're going to it's a free market.
But there's got to be some kind of contract law. That's the key. Somewhere, if your kid signs a contract, not an NCAA contract, a contract. That
Okay,
goes
so then it would have to go likewise, where the player can't get the scholarship taken from him either.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, what's the contract?
The way it is
under any circumstance.
The way it is right now, I think it actually disrupt college sports this fall. In other words, and by the way, everybody, listen, we all love the football and basketball. It's the same way for the other sports.
But can I also
that's
say
even
something
more
too?
Disruptive.
I don't know that. I think like program by program, depending on which side of the fence you're at, depending on where you're coaching, you're either majorly for this or majorly against it. But you know who's definitely for it? Is college football in general. Like the powers that be. I know that it might not seem that way, but in the grand scheme of things, they're in the news cycle. There's every day a transfer story. That's bigger business nowadays, is just be trending on Twitter. Trust me when I tell you that the news, the offseason, all this stuff is adding to the lore. Us talking about it right now is what they want.
Yeah.
Like ultimately in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not going to change. People are going to complain about it, but on Saturday when you line up, you're going to get what you get.
But here's
the Alabama, the Ohio States,
and here's
they're always going to be the top dogs anyway. And guess what? Before all this, they already were. They already were.
You think Alabama's got money? They do. They ain't got the money some other schools got, man. Like, the Stanford, who could be dominant in football in a matter of, especially if they change the NCAA laws. You know what school could be dominant and would be number one ranked team in 6 months? Princeton. You don't realize how the money Princeton got, man. Like, we're going to sign. You think Dion signed in guys?
But then you know what you're going to see? You're going to see.
What do they care? They're getting $1 million. They're playing against
things like
they're playing against me, you, and Dave. It doesn't matter. You're taking the money.
Who's already way before? Yeah, I mean, look, but I don't understand. What I do understand is like the money teams will go to where the most money is, but how much is winning worth? Like that's the cap.
Right.
Realistically, it's like is Notre Dame? They got all the money in the world. Are they going to spend $400 million on a college football roster? No. So there is almost a built-in cap.
But not listen. I think we're both agreeing that it's not that we don't think it should happen. There has to be some kind of roadmap.
It's just like but it's also we also agree good luck finding it.
I think there will be something. I do,
and it's not going to be fair.
And the guy and the to me, it's the TV money that'll decide. The TV doesn't want guys flying all over the place. They don't like. They want to have story.
That's who does want it. That's exactly who does want it. Though. That's what I'm saying.
No, but they want it to be a little structured as well. Like they don't want to be real pumped on a guy and he just takes off for a school that's not on. You get
Well, Sam, the book is different. The book is rewritten, so they better be starting to play by a different book.
Notre Dame plays by the book, but the
book's being rewritten,
and they have the money to do anything. Now Rutgers is screwed because they ain't got shit, but plus the team sucks. Anyway, very interesting stuff. There's kid camp spreads, but here's the last thing I'm going to say on this, and this is for the fans out there. You know that fan that says they're just kids, you can't boo, be nice? Oh, you know what I say? Fuck Cam Spencer. You know why? I'm a Rutgers basketball fan, and he left. If Jeter signed with the Red Sox, we would have been ripping on him, right? What a bum. He left the Yankees, right? So now these college kids, you're making the money now? You're up to the same scrutiny as they're pros now. there's no such thing as amateur athletics. You're a pro. So you know what? When Jimmy Palumbo sits there and Cam Spencer comes into the rack, I can boo, yell, and scream and have some fun as a fan and bust his balls. None of this, well, they're just kids. No. You're getting $200,000 play basketball. You're a professional basketball player. We can boo, loud, we can say anything we want. The doors are wide open on that. No more of this. They're just kids. That's nonsense. So anyway, that's my take on Cam Spencer leaving. And also he did it shitty. He waited, jerk off. Anyway, which brings us to chasingmiracles.com. That's right. A breakthrough technology here from the Omni. Phototherapy patches using light to stimulate the body's natural healing systems here. Instead of pills and surgeries, you take these patches. I got one on my back right now, on my back shoulder here, in case I'm getting ready to play some pickle. I took a couple of days off of these because I was on this medication, but now I'm back. You got to check this stuff out. Chasingmiracles.com. They have these patches thing for your health. They also have hydrating water packs. These things are really, really cool. I drink them in my water bottle every day now. That's what's going to help me in my 5K when I'm back from the heel injury, which I might be back tonight. Who knows? And check it out, chasingmiracles.com. You got to go talk to Tommy and Donna. They're really cool. They'll tell you what to do. It's all about stuff in the body, stem cell growth and all that, and getting hydrated and things getting through and all this newer kind of technology with health to make you feel better. So go to chasingmiracles.com and check it out. You'll love it all. Which brings us to, what do we got here? Show's going on a little long here, Shay. That's because I spilled stuff all over the place. What do I got? Well, first of all, my daughter had a dance thing this weekend, and she did absolutely wonderful. She got the highest score she ever got doing her solo. That was very cool. Then I sold my car in the parking lot of the Mount Olive High School. Dude, someday, Kenny Barnhart checking in. I'm still back, bro. Delaware Blue Hen, my boy Kenny. Brodor. The bottom line is this high school, Mount Olive, where my cousin Joey's kids, Madison went to high school, the intern over there. It's like better than a D3 college. You have to see, Google Mount Olive's athletic facilities. They got a roof over their stands. They got bubbles. It makes Colonia look like you're playing at Rawway Prison. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything. Their video scoreboard is like Giant Stadium. I don't know. It's unbelievable. I walked in. I was like, what the hell is this? Performing Arts Center. The Allman Brothers can play inside. Lights all over the place. And so my daughter did great. She had, I sold my car in the parking lot Sunday. How great is that? I went out. It was like, one of those cash deals in the parking lot. I thought felt like I was in Miami in the 80s. And so I got rid of my Hyundai Sonata. Little sad. I'll tell you why. It was my dad's car. I know I'm sentimental. I'm one of those jerks. My brother's going to yell at me now. I just felt like a little part of my dad was being sent away. But it's a friend of the family. So, my dad lives on with a friend of the family. And my dad loved the family that got the car. So that's cool. So my daughter did well. God bless America. And she also left this morning on her first class trip on a bus to Washington, D.C. Very nervous about that. I don't know if you got kids at home. My audience, it was the first time. I mean, we're not only helicopter parents, we're like, I got a Blackhawks over my daughter the way I am. And it's the first time going away. She was very nervous about it, but she got on the bus today like a trooper. She's down there right now. They're already at the Holocaust Museum. She texted me, and she's been to DC before. And I told her she's going to have a blast. The bus ride, the kids, popcorn flying all over the place, hotel rooms. It's a big experience for her. So shout out to my daughter doing that. Love you, kiddo. You're going to have a great time. I'll talk to you on Thursday when you get back. I told her I think the greatest joke ever is, with the Lincoln assassination in DC, that joke, the old joke. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? That to me is that might be I think on paper, I know, Chris, you got a smirk out of you, I mean, it's like, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? I think that joke. So I told my daughter, she giggled. I said, Nat, if you're going to use my material, you're in DC. That's the time to use it. But tell me you don't think that's a funny joke, man. It's probably 500 years old, but I guess I wonder if that's a Woody Allen joke, or I got to find out if anybody knows who wrote that joke. I want to give him like full. I think it's a top 5 joke of all time. So anyway, I told her to use that material, see how it goes with the teachers and stuff. Also, listen, in other big news, dude, I got a birthday on Friday. Now your birthday's soon, right? Or past the rate.
Friday.
That's right. Same day as mine. How can I forget that? What a jerk off I am. I am an asshole, but I thought you were a week earlier or later or something.
No.
So we share the same birthday. Isn't that incredible? With Bob Dylan and John Wayne. 2 guys just drove off the road.
And Vinny Abeen.
And Vinny Abeen getting involved here from the Omni. Dude, I'm 58, bro. I mean, I am like Carl Banks, Jim Clack, Gary Brackett, Colt guy from Rutgers, Isaiah McDuffie. You know who that is?
No.
Oh, sorry. It's just a guy. He plays for that team in the NFL, the Green Bay Packers. Jack Lambert and Von Miller. That's what I'll be turning 58 on Friday. Not supposed to tell my
rotten old bastard.
Oh,
running
what
a
are you,
5K.
41?
Yep.
You'll be 41. You're Judah Ben-Hur. 6 people driving off the road because of that. We're getting old, bro. Anyway, don't forget, go to Pine Tar Bar and Grill, 121 South Main Street, Forked River, New Jersey, 609-489-4286. Stop by holiday weekend down by the shore. Check that out. Also, Lisa Ruane, my friend who does, she's a therapist. If you're in the gym, you're thinking about crazy things, give her a call, 201-725-1251, 201-725-1251. She's a cool chick. She'll take care of you. Talk you through it, as they say. What else we got? This show's going long, but that's okay. The show Succession. Everybody, that's right. Kenny Barnhart birthday weekend, bro. Kenny Barnhart's birthday, I think, is the 25th or 24th. Years ago, we used to have birthday weekends down the Jersey Shore. Me, Barry, and my buddy Kenny had birthdays in a row. The show Succession, everybody's like loving it. I hate it now. And very unrealistic. Anybody turn off a spoiler alert. There's a eulogy of a very famous man, right, in the show, and in the world, in the show, the character, and like 3 people in a big Catholic church, like one of those St. Peter's kind of places, and they bash the guy dead. 3 eulogies in a row, like that just doesn't. No one's going to do that. That would be bad for bit. It's just, I felt it jumped the shark. It just would, even though the guy was a jerk off, it just wouldn't happen. Everybody thought it was a great thing. I thought it was awful, but the acting though, above my pay grade, awesome guys. All the actors are tremendous, but I thought I just didn't get it. I was like, you know what? I'm not buying. It didn't seem real to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. You can come back now. You can skip over because no more spoiler alerts. Also, the show Yellow. I watched 2 things the other day. Yellow Jackets, which talks about eating people, and then a documentary on Channel 7 yesterday about the rugby team who got in a plane crash in the 70s where they were eating people. Every show, everybody's eating people. I don't understand this. Now, how many people eat human flesh? Divided by the worldwide public.
It's the Dahmer effect from that weird ass show.
Yeah, so it's like every show has to have a guy like a cat. It's almost like if they did like a One Day at a Time right now, one of the characters would come in with like an arm in his mouth, go, "Hey Ma, this left wrist was really good you made." I mean, everybody's eating people. I don't understand this. The show should be a factor of how many people. There's a lot of things they put on television that are not showing what the public is like, but I don't know. Everybody's eating everybody. It's gross. Who wants to watch that shit? Anyway, you know what, Chris? I've turned 58 in 3 days. Beerleague coming out. Please subscribe. Please, please, please subscribe. Go to YouTube and subscribe. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers, Chris. Can we do it, Chris?
I know. Trust me, I played this game before.
It's tough. I know you guys did it with Chop Sports. You
guys might need to start going live.
Well, we might have to do that. I'm going to be posting some stuff, and but the good news is we have, instead of you and Dave, I have Artie Lang and the Howard Stern fan base start. So I'm hoping that somebody checks in, but it's hard to get fans on us to subscribe, so we can start generating some revenue.
It is. Trust me. I know.
So anyway, go to check out all the Beerleague stuff. You're going to see more stuff posted this week. June 19th is Beerleague Day here at Shea. That's all, Christopher. A long show here today. I don't know why I went on so long, but I screwed up a couple things. And I will see you. I see you next Tuesday.
You will.
And I may see you. I may see you on over the weekend on the way back. I think I'm going to be.
Absolutely. Happy birthday. Enjoy your weekend.
Down in
we'll
Seagirt. All right. We'll see you, everybody. Love you. Thank you very much.
All right.